Okay, so these are the you do problems. So you should have attempted the problem first before you watch the answer. If you haven't, pause the video right now, try this problem on your own first, and then check your answer. Remember that when you are done, you want to balance the equation. That's something that we didn't do yesterday. So we're going to be balancing the equation when we're all done. Okay, so hopefully you tried this one. Let's take a look at the answer and see how you did. So again, step one, let's write these as ions. So calcium is a group 2 metal, so it's going to have a 2+ charge. Hydrogen is in group 1, so it's going to have a +1 charge. NO2, this is nitrite. We're going to look at our ion sheet and we're going to see that nitrite has a -1 charge. Then we're going to need to make a new partnership. So positive replaces positive. So calcium is now going to go with our nitrite instead. And hydrogen is going to be left out in the cold by itself. The next thing we need to do is swap and drop charges to make a new formula. So the 2 is going to go with the nitrite, the 1 is going to go with calcium, and so we get CaNO2 2. And then hydrogen, remember, is one of our 7 that form diatomics, meaning that instead of just being plain H, it's going to be H2. And so our final is going to be H2. The last thing we need to do is make sure that this thing is balanced. So if we look, calcium we have 1, calcium we have 1, so that's in good order. Hydrogen we have 1, hydrogen over here we have 2. So we need to balance this out. So I'm going to put a coefficient of 2 out here in front. So now we have 2 hydrogens, but this also changes my nitrate to 2. So nitrite has 2 because of this coefficient of 2, so we need to verify on the other side that it's good to go. And if we look, we have 2 nitrites over here, 2 nitrites over there. So this should be good and balanced. 1 calcium on each side, we have 2 hydrogens on each side, we have 2 nitrites on each side. So just by adding that 2 there, we've completely fixed the problem. All right. Here's number 3. Hopefully you paused the video and tried this one on your own. If you haven't, do that right now. Alright, so hopefully you've attempted this problem already and now you're just checking your work. So step 1 is we're going to write these as ions. So magnesium is a group 2 metal, which means it's going to have a +2 charge. Potassium is a group 1 metal, so it's going to have a +1 charge. Bromine is a group 7 non-metal, so it's going to have a -1 charge. We're going to change partnerships, so our positive replaces positive, so metal replaces metal. So magnesium is going to have a new partner with bromine, and then potassium is now going to be left on its own. So the next thing we need to do is balance charges. So let's write our formula for magnesium and bromine. So magnesium bromide. So we're going to swap and drop. We're going to bring the 2 over here for bromine, the 1 over here for magnesium. When we do that, we get MgBr2. And then potassium is a metal. It's not one of our 7, so it's not going to be diatomic. It's just going to be on its own. When it's a metal, we drop the charge, and it just becomes potassium. The last thing we need to do is make sure this thing is balanced. And if we see, we have 1 K here, 1 K here, 1 magnesium, but we have a problem with our bromine. We have 1 bromine over here, 2 bromines over here. So that means that I'm going to need to put a coefficient of 2 in front, so that we end up with 2 bromines. But when I put the 2 here, this also changes our potassium. So now we're going to have 2 potassiums on this side. So our ratio is 1 magnesium, 2 KBr, so 2 potassium bromides, 1 magnesium bromide, and 2 potassium atoms on their own. Here comes problem 4. Again, you should have tried this on your own. If you haven't, pause the video and try it right now. Alright, so here's our answer. Let's see how you guys did. So we're going to write the charges. Potassium is a group 1 metal on the periodic table, so it's going to have a +1 charge. Aluminum always has a +3 charge. And then oxygen, because it's a group 6, is going to be a -2. Positive is going to replace positive, so potassium is going to replace our aluminum. And so we're going to get potassium with oxygen, and aluminum is going to be out on its own. So we're going to have potassium and oxygen, and aluminum by itself. Then we're going to need to make our new compound, so we're going to swap and drop. So the 2 is going to go with potassium, the 1 is going to go with oxygen. So we're going to get K2O. And then with that, we're going to have aluminum on its own. It's not one of those diatomics, it's a metal. We drop the charge from the metal, and it's going to become aluminum on its own. Last thing we need to do is make sure this thing is balanced. We only have 1 potassium here, but we have 2 potassiums over here. Here we have 2 aluminums, but we only have 1 aluminum. Here we have 3 oxygens and only 1 oxygen over here. So we're going to need to do some balancing. So to fix this, I'm going to put a 2 in front of aluminum, so I have 2 aluminums on both sides. I'm going to put a 3 in front of my K2O so that I have 3 oxygens on this side. But when I did that, I also changed my potassium. So now it's 3 times 2 potassium, which is 6, which means I need to fix the other side over here, which means I'm going to put a 6 in front of potassium. So we get coefficients of 6, 1, 3, 2. We have 6 potassiums on both sides, right? 6 times 1 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6, so 6 potassiums. We have 3 oxygens. 3 times 1 is 3. And we have 3 oxygens over here. And then 2 aluminums. 2 times 1 aluminum, and then 2 aluminums over here. So it's balanced. Let's try the next problem. Again, you should have tried this one first. We're just checking our work right now. So let's look at our charges. Sodium, because it's a group 1 metal, is going to have a positive 1 charge. Zinc, even though it's a transition metal, has a fixed charge of 2+. Zinc is always 2+. And then OH is a polyatomic ion, so we're going to look at our ion sheet and see that that is a -1 charge. The next thing we need to do is make new partnerships. Metal replaces metal, so sodium is going to steal hydroxide away from zinc. So we get Na and OH together, and then zinc is going to be on its own. When we do this, we need to swap and drop charges. We can see this is +1, -1, so we only need 1 of each. So NaOH becomes that formula. Zinc is a metal, we need to drop its charge, and so that's just going to be zinc as our product. Last thing we need to do is make sure this is balanced. You can see we have 2 hydroxides here, only 1 hydroxide here, so we're going to need to add a coefficient to balance that out. So we put a 2 here to get 2 hydroxides, but when we do that, we now have 2 sodiums, so we need to fix the other side by adding a 2 in front of sodium. So we have 2 sodiums, we have 2 hydroxides, and 1 zinc on each side. So let's do number 6. We have fluorine by itself, and we have aluminum chloride. Let's write them as ions. So fluorine is -1, aluminum is +3, and chlorine, because it's a group 7, is -1. We're going to make new partnerships. This time we have a negative ion here, so it's going to replace chlorine. So fluorine is now going to be with aluminum, and chlorine is going to be on its own. So aluminum with fluorine, and chlorine on its own. Hopefully remember, looking at our periodic table, that chlorine is part of our diatomic 7. So when we go to write chlorine, we need to write that as Cl2. And then for our formula here, aluminum fluoride, we had to swap and drop, which gives us 3 fluorines and 1 aluminum, so we get AlF when we balance those charges. When we write chlorine, it's one of our diatomic 7, so we have to write it as Cl2 up here. Last thing we need to do is make sure this guy is balanced, and we see aluminums are good to go, but fluorine not so much. We have 2 over here, where we have 3 over here. We have 3 chlorines over here and 2 chlorines over here, so let's fix it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 3 in front of fluorine. So 3 times 2 gives us 6, which means then I can fix my fluorine on the other side by putting a 2 in front. So 2 times 3 gives us 6 fluorines, but when I do that, that's going to mess up my aluminum, so I'm going to try and fix aluminum by putting a 2 in front here. So now I have 2 aluminums. This also changes our chlorine, so 2 times 3 means we have 6 chlorines, so I need to fix chlorine on this side by putting a 3. So we ended up with 6 fluorines, so 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6, so we have 6 fluorines on both sides. We have 2 aluminums on both sides, 2 times 1, 2 times 1, so we have 2 aluminums on each side. And then our chlorines, 2 times 3 is 6 chlorines, 3 times 2 is 6 chlorines. So we have the same number of chlorines on each side, it's balanced. Problem number 7, let's write our ions. Silver is always +1. Sodium is a group 1 metal, so it's going to be +1. And then CO3, that's a polyatomic ion, so we're going to look at our ion sheet, that's a -2. And then the next thing that we need to do is find our new partners. So metals replace metals, positive replaces positive. So silver is now going to be with carbonate. And we're going to form a new solid. So silver with carbonate. And then we're going to have sodium on its own. The next thing we need to do is swap and drop charges to make new formula. So the 2 is going to go with silver. The 1 is going to go with carbonate. And then Na, because it's a metal, is going to go all on its own, and we're going to drop its charge. So it's just going to be Na alone. Let's try our next problem, number 8. Oh, sorry, before we go to number 8, I forgot we need to balance. So let's take a look at this. If we see we have 2 silvers on this side, we need to have 2 silvers on here, so we're going to put a coefficient of 2 in front. We have 2 sodiums here. We need to make sure we have 2 sodiums on this side, so we're going to add a 2 in front of sodium, and we should be all balanced. 2 silvers, 2 silvers, 2 sodiums, 2 sodiums, 1 carbonate, 1 carbonate. So it's completely balanced. Now let's try number 8. Again, you should have done these problems on your own. We're just checking answers. So calcium is group 2 metal, so that's going to be a +2. Mercury, we have to figure out its charge by using the charge for phosphate. Phosphate we know is 3-. If we needed 2 of them, that must mean that mercury had a +2 charge. We're going to unswap our charges, right? 3 is going to go back with phosphate. 2 is going to go with mercury. So mercury is going to have a 2+ charge, and phosphate, again looking at the ion sheet, is going to be -3. I knew that mercury had a +2 charge because I'm going to unswap my charges. So 2 is with mercury, 3 was with phosphate. Now that I do this, let's make new combinations. So calcium is going to replace mercury in our compound, and so now calcium is going to go with our phosphate. So we're going to have calcium with phosphate, and mercury is going to be all on its own. We need to swap and drop charges. So 2 is going to go with phosphate, 3 is going to go with calcium. So we get Ca3, PO4, 2. Mercury is a metal, so we're just going to drop its charge and write it up above as Hg. And then the last thing we need to do is make sure this guy is balanced. So we have 2 phosphates on each side, but we don't have the right amount of calcium. We have 3 calciums here, only 1 here. So we're going to add a 3 in front of calcium so that that's balanced. And then mercury, we only have 1 mercury on this side, we have 3 on this side. So we're going to add a coefficient of 3 out in front. So now this should be balanced. 3 calciums, 2 phosphates, and then 3 mercuries. Last problem. All right, again, you should have done this problem already. We're just checking answers. Aluminum we know has a +3 charge. Iron, we don't know its charge because it could be +2 or +3. Nitrate, we do know its charge. It's a -1, and we know that from looking at our ion sheet. So if we have a charge of -1, and we have 3 of them, that means that this side, the negative half of our compound, is -3. We know that charges have to add up to 0. So if this side of our compound is -3, this side of our compound has to be +3. So iron is +3, and I figured that out by knowing the fact that nitrate is a -1. So essentially I unswapped the charges, right? 3 goes with iron, 1 went with nitrate. So now we need to make new partnerships. So aluminum is now going to go with nitrate. Iron is going to be on its own. Let's swap and drop our charges to write our new formula. So 3 is going to go with nitrate, 1 is going to go with aluminum. So we get AlNO3, and then iron, again, it's a metal, so we're going to drop its charge, and we're just going to write it as Fe up above. Last thing we need to do is make sure that this guy is balanced, and if we take a look, we have 3 nitrates, 3 nitrates. 1 aluminum, 1 aluminum, 1 iron, 1 iron. So this guy is fully balanced and ready to go. All right, if you have any questions after completing this, please come talk to me or Mr. Sanford. Also, if you finish this early, there's still time on the clock. You should be working on the balancing practice problems on the back side of your Flippy.